I want to persuade you to not spank your future children. By a show of hands, how many people in here were spanked when they were children? Okay, me too. And how many in here plan to spank your children when you are older?
No.
I was spanked a few times as a child that I can remember. It made me even more rebellious and aggressive. My parents quickly figured out that was not the right way to punish me. This is the case for many other children across the United States. Many times their parents continue spanking them instead of finding other ways to effectively punish their children. Society doesn't allow adults to hit each other, so why are adults allowed to hit children? According to the National Child Project, an article by Jan Hunt written this year, in 47 countries around the world, it is illegal for parents to spank their children. But in America, there are no laws protecting our children from this unless it turns excessive and violent. Why is our country so slow to address this issue? Our children are not benefiting from this physical punishment. Everyone can agree that children can be annoying sometimes, but it gives the parents no right to inflict physical pain on them. Parents should refrain from physically punish their children because it can turn children into very aggressive people. It can harm the relationship between parent and child, and it does not help the behavior or mental health in the long run. The best way to deal with your children's bad behavior is to teach them what they did wrong while showing love and respect. Although you mostly don't like having children, you most likely don't have children now, I hope to persuade you that later on in life, when most of us have children, you will refrain from spanking your own. According to an article published by The Atlantic and written by James Hamblin in 2017, spanking your child is one of the easiest ways to hurt a parent-child relationship. Instead of the child following the rules out of respect, they follow the rules out of fear. No good relationship can be maintained by fear and can very easily harm future relationship between the parent and child. Other relationships can also be damaged and can damage mental health growing up. If the children are not used to respect, they may become unaware of the respect they need from their peers, friends, teachers, and even bosses. Living in constant fear of others can be reduced in the early ages of their development by their parents. James Hamlin also states that according to many surveys done around 81% of the American population still believe that spanking is beneficial to children later in life. Many Americans are still unaware of the consequences that it causes later in the child's life. In another report written in 1998 by the American Academy of Pediatrics, they are warning parents of the dangers of physically disciplining their children. They state that the best form of disciplining children is 1, having a learning environment characterized by positive and supportive parents, 2, a strategy for systematic teaching of desired behaviors, and 3, a strategy for decreasing or eliminating ineffective behaviors by their children that is safe. Spanking your children can also cause physical harm. There are many ways to discipline your children, but physical and verbal abuse should not be one of them. Spanking does not improve the behavior of the child in the long run. In an article published by CNN on November 6th of this year, Elizabeth Gershoff explains that spanking hurts the behavior of the children. Although the children stop what they are doing at the moment, it has been proven by many studies involving hundreds of thousands of kids that they will continue to produce bad behavior in the future. Spanking your children doesn't develop the kid to be loving and caring of others in life, because they don't understand how to love and care for people if they are not taught by someone else. Spanking can fill the child's heart with anger and aggression. In another article written by John Hernandez in 2017, a study was analyzed over 5 decades, including more than 160,000 kids. Researchers found that children who were spanked in their childhood grew up to be more likely to experience antisocial behaviors, increased aggression, and even mental health problems. Obviously, no parents want this to happen to their children when they grow up. And an easy fix to stop this problem is to stop spanking your kids. Spanking can affect the children's relationships. Spanking does more harm than good, even though most parents agree. Physically punishing your child is one of the worst forms of discipline. In an article published by CNN, There are many other ways to discipline your child. For example, giving your child a second chance. This may allow the child to learn on their own and produce better actions in the future. Have a conversation with them about what they did wrong. This shows your child how responsible adults can handle things. Teach them how to act properly with words, not actions. Timeout also gives the child a chance to think about what they did wrong and hopefully won't do it again. Another tip is for the parent to take a breather. If you act on your immediate emotion, you may regret how you punish your child. But if you take just a few minutes to calm down and think about how you want to punish your child, you'll make a better decision for you and your kid. So to wrap things up, parents are unaware that their actions of discipline can lead to later issues down the road that can affect many things in the child's life. Spanking can lead to aggression in the child's behavior, damage relationship with their parents, and can lead to behavioral issues and mental health issues. Although you all don't have children now, most of us in this room will have children in the next 10 to 15 years. And now that you know the negative effects of spanking your children, I urge you not to spank your future children.